Okay. All right, Carrie, so we are stopping. Yeah, we're good to go. Okay, broadcasting and recording. All right, welcome everyone. Adrienne here with Live with Prima. I'm so excited to be sharing with you this Finnabar altered metal clock tonight. So you can see what we're going to be doing. Isn't it gorgeous? Now, it is so easy. Let me get, woo. And you're going to see in a minute what we're going to do. I mean, this thing is going to take me no time flat to get done. So we're going to just go through a couple products that I really specifically like with this, this clock and some things that you can do with it. So it's going to be really exciting. So first off, I want to do a couple of announcements. Next show is coming up this coming Tuesday. It is 11 a.m. Pacific time with Frank, and he's going to be creating one of those Julie Nutting, what is it? The dollhouse tray. She came out with two gorgeous larger items. There's a tray, and I think there's a little open up luggage box. It's adorable. So Frank's going to be doing a spin on that and making it very Halloween, spooky, and festive home decor. So that is next Tuesday at 11 a.m. And also, I'm so sorry about last week. And actually, I think it was 2 Thursdays ago. We finally sorted it out. Hopefully things go well from now on. But we are rescheduling my canvas, and it's going to be for Thursday, October 30th, and it's going to be 9:30 again. And here's what we're going to be doing. This is the much anticipated canvas that did not get seen last time, and hopefully everything's going to go smoothly and I can show it to you. I was so disappointed and I felt so bad. Please accept my most sincerest apologies. I was really upset, and I think push come to shove, I believe it was my poor laptop and just couldn't handle the streaming of the Ustream. So keep your eye out for that. We'll send out reminders for that. So let's get started. All right, we are just going to buzz through this. So I'm going to pan down. I'm going to show you all the amazing products. And you'll let me know if I need more light. I am going to turn on. You guys let me know, is this too much light if I turn this on? Just want to make sure that everything is working properly and that you can see. Is it clear? All right. So we're going to be making this Finnabar altered frame. It is a clock. It's gorgeous. It is so rustic. It's very vintage. It's amazing. So it comes like this. Ta-da-da! And you're going to love it. And I actually have another one that I'm working on here at home, and I haven't started yet hardly, but I want to show you the variations and options that you can do with it. You can really jazz it up. I'm actually going to do one of my husband and I at our wedding, our beach wedding. And I'm actually going to also be adding some rhodanthe flowers to that as well, because cool fun fact, we actually got married in Rhodanthe on Rhodanthe Beach. And so I thought it was awesome that Prima came out with Rhodanthe flowers, which I actually used in here. And you'll see how they're tucked in. Hopefully we can angle this camera so you can see what I'm doing tonight fairly well. Okay, and while I'm at it, I do want to share with you the other frame that Finnabar came out with. It is a birdhouse. I actually just popped another photo in. Same photo, black and white. And I love this adorable little bird up at the top. It's beautiful. So you can fit, this is a 5x7 photo. So it's, I don't know, it's maybe 8 inches high. Isn't it so pretty? And you can jazz that up too. Okay, so that's just a side note. And, all right. So let's get started. We're going to take this, and I'm just going to take it apart here to start, and then I'll go through my product. See, it comes apart like this. Real easy for you to pop your pictures in and out. I'm going to take this out. All right, so that's ready to go. I'm going to be doing my list of materials now with you. And we're going to do the altered frame. It's 961343. We're going to be using my favorite of the Forever Green collection paper, and it is Garden Talk 846817. And we're actually just going to trace it here. I'm going to be using Orchard Fresh, which is this one, and it is 846787. I'm sorry, 846880. All right, and we're going to just be cutting out some leaves from here and here. That's all we're doing with that one. And then the last one is Forever Green Botanical Garden, and that is 846787. So we're just going to be cutting out a cute little floral cluster out of the bottom. And I've already cut out these to kind of zip us along and keep us moving here tonight. Get to the fun stuff. I still have to scroll down and make sure everything's working properly. Okay, so next I'm going to be showing you these wood icons. And we're going to be using 2 butterflies tonight. And we're also going to be using these gorgeous little leaves. Going to be using 3 of them. And we're also, I love these wood icons, so we're using a lot of them. And there's a cute little jar that my son is going to hold in the picture. And these are 576042. The measurement of the clock. I don't have the measurement. Yes, hold on. I do. Where's that thing at? Hold on. I'm going to get the measurement of the clock for you. And it does not say, of course. Why would it say? I'm going to guess it is about 5 inches wide and maybe 7 inches high. Let's compare it to this. Yeah, I'm going to say it's about 5 by 8. I'm just kind of comparing it to the clock. I'm sorry, the bird cage. So we also have these gorgeous little roses that are in that pack. So pretty. I hope that you can see them. They're very pink, but I'm having a hard time getting it. There's a little bit of a glare on them. Anyway, so we're going to be using a lot out of the wood icon box. And let me throw those all back in. Da, 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 da. We're going to be using these Shabby Chic mushrooms from Ingelboom. They are 890766. These are from a couple years ago, I believe, but they're so cute. They're timeless. They can be used on a lot of whimsical items, which I'm doing tonight. We're going to be playing with the new Prima metal dies. Aren't they gorgeous? There's some leaves in here. It's 572839. They're 6 in a pack, and they're really intricate. They're really awesome. It's going to look fabulous in your projects. These are, I did some ahead of time just to make it easier on myself, but I have so much fun with my new Sizzix dies, and aren't they pretty? So you just want to I'll show you a tip on how to get them out whenever we get to that point. I'm running out of room on my desk to put things. Okay, so next we have these, the wire, and it's wire thread 576974, and there are several different colors tonight, and I don't know where my one went. Okay, so we're going to be using the color Sprout. If I can find it, it has somehow disappeared on my desk. Of course, actually it's on the floor. It is a mossy green color. It actually goes perfectly and matches awesome with the Lime Wedge color bloom spray. So that again is 576974. All right. And lastly is the Rhodanthe flowers. There's a ton in this pack. I actually just put them in a Ziploc bag. You got various sizes, so pretty, and you can mist them any color you want. And I actually misted mine with the Lime Wedge and the Glistening Waves two-tone, and you'll see that in a minute. But there's such a variety, and I mean, look, there's so many. You can use them on a ton of projects. Well worth the money. I think they're a little bit more than usual, but they're worth it. They're gorgeous. All right, and got my photo of my kids. And lastly, we have these color bloom sprays. Gorgeous. Lime Wedge is 573850, and then Glistening Waves is 573942. This one is by far my favorite. Out of the ballpark fave. It's just gorgeous, and I'm going to show you how you can create a two-tone effect on these flowers tonight. So let me just check the chat here. Yes, Rhodanthe flowers are seashell. All right. Anybody have any questions? And I'm actually going to show you here the Ingle Balm. This works really nicely at poking out all these little tiny. I sat there for a while and just kind of made sure that all the little tiny pieces were out of them. But that's just a little fun tip for you. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to cut out a circle out of this garden chalk paper. I love it. You get so many different sentiments. On the back you have yellow and white flowers. I'm going to be working up here, and it says we're all flowers from the same garden. And that I love that because it's going to go perfect with my kids and that they're from the same garden. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. I love it. So what we're going to do to start, just let me turn this around so I can get my bearings here, is we're just going to draw a line. My pen is not working. Just going to draw around it. And snip, snip, snip. Get these out of the way. Sorry, guys. Now that I'm in a different place, I feel slightly discombobulated. I'm still kind of getting a feel for where everything is and whatnot. So I had to buy a new table that would actually fit. So I'm still getting used to it. When I'm not sitting at my craft table, I get a little like, woohoo. So anyways, all right, perfect. Now we're ready to go. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glue. I actually have to snip this off. I'm just going to take a little bit of glue here in the center. You don't need that much. Or you can use like a temporary adhesive. Sometimes I get bored with things and want to switch them up, and you could use that as an option too if you ever wanted to switch out your frames and switch out your scenes. Okay, so I'm just going to center this. I want it exactly perfect. Wow. All right, so that looks about right. What's awesome about these is these little tabs. You know, the tabs like you get on the back of a frame, any other frame, there's tabs like that. It's going to hold it on the back, which is perfect. It's really nice. Okay, and we're ready. Let me get some more light here. All right, everybody seeing okay? All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to do the misting last, just because I know where all the pieces are and it's all going to fit together. And I'm going to show you a way how I do that so it doesn't get mist everywhere. You can obviously do your misting at the beginning. So what I'm going to do to get started is let me get my thing here. I'm going to start from the left and work down across like that. Okay, so first off, let's mist our flowers because they are a big part of my background. And I'm not going to actually use the dry ones, but I'm just going to show you what you can do with these. So I'm just going to use a couple different colors, variety of sizes, and you're going to get a nice two-tone effect with this. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the Lime Wedge. I'm just going to give it a nice coat. Okay? Next, I'm going to do Glistening Waves over the top. And it's really going to go so well with these wood icons. The wood icon butterflies actually have this gorgeous turquoise color, and they actually match Glistening Waves beautifully as well. I'm a very matchy-matchy person, as you'll come to find out that I just like everything the same color. Quite the perfectionist. Okay, so I did these a little bit darker than these, and that's okay. And I just wanted to give you an idea of what you can do. I mean, as long as you're staying in the same color, you can't really tell right here in the camera, but as long as you kind of stay in the same color family, you can get a beautiful two-tone effect on these. And it's very much, there's a gold undertone, and you're going to get both of those colors in there. And I love how the little stamens are kind of staying white. They're not soaking in too much of the mist. They're a little bit misted, but not too much, which is great. Okay, so I'm going to take those flowers, and I'm going to glue one here. I'm going to hold this up so you can see. I'm trying to get a good view. So I'm actually just going to lay down some glue here in the inside on the bottom, like way in here. Okay? It's really hard here to get my fat fingers in there for you to see, but you'll get the idea here in a minute. And then I'm just going to lay one down here at the bottom, at the very bottom in the center. And then I'm just going to leave the third one sit for a minute, and that's going to go on after I put the photo in. So to start, I'm going to take some of these beautiful die cut leaves from the Prima die. These are actually by far my favorite as well, this particular leaf. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to glue. I'm going to be using some foam adhesive and also glue for this project. Let's see. I'm going to let that sit here because it's going to pop out. And then I'm going to I'm working from back to front, left to right. And we're going to stick this right here. My sun. And you know, it's still going to stay a little wet here and there, so you're going to be able to move things around a little bit. I'm just putting my hair up here. Okay. And I'll move this back and forth so you can get an idea of what I'm doing. So next we're going to be using tons of this foam adhesive. And I know I've brought this up every single class of mine. I just go into, I mean, Target carries it. It's just, it's in the hardware section, and it's also in the craft section. And I just use it and rip it in half, and you just be economical because I do use a lot of it. So to get my son and daughter's photo to really pop, I'm going to use a lot of dimension and sticky foam. And I want them to kind of pop off from the side so it really looks like they're in the bushes. So I'm going to keep it less dimensional behind my son and really pop it out as we move over. So let's get them in there. Just so. There's such a shadow. Ah. That's going to annoy me. Anyways, we're just going to have to work around it. All right. So we got him down here. Just going to put a little, you really don't want, you want these to stay put, so you're going to use a lot of adhesive in there. Okay, so it's coming along. You can really use any picture you want in any theme. I like a more whimsical look here for this. I thought this picture was gorgeous of my kids. We were strawberry picking, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is perfect for the Forever Green collection. Okay? How we doing? All right. So let's stick another flower in behind this green one. And to do that, where's my glue? Can everybody hear me okay? And you get the idea. I mean, honestly, this is just a bunch of placement of items and just overlapping one on top of the other to create layers. All right. So let's pop this up here a little bit. And you can always move and shimmy things around if you need to. And I'm going to actually pop this one flower up in the back to make it pop out a little bit more. And it takes a little bit of shimmying and moving around here to get them exactly where you want. And it takes quite a little bit of patience, but it really is so easy. I mean, I would say this is super, super easy to work with here. As long as you have small hands. Which I don't. All right, it's coming along. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down this beautiful little jar. See, my son is actually holding strawberries, and I'm just going to place the little jar over it. His hand placement was perfect to hold the jar. Of course, the jar's about the size of his torso, but you get the idea. I always make fun of things like that. Next, we're going to be using our leaves that are cut out and are ready to go. And we're just going to place them and overlap them a little bit in front of him. All right. And I'm actually going to put glue down directly on some of the jar. And I'm trying to figure out which one I put here. And then I put foam adhesive layers to make them look dimensional. I'm just going to put a piece of foam here. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm just ripping, folding it in half a little bit, and then you just have a little piece. And one is shooting out this way. So this is actually going to go here. It's like a little puzzle. You just have to have a little bit of patience with these, the size of the frame. All right, this is really going to go out this way, like that, coming along. Sorry guys, I'm really trying to get it so you can see inside there. The shadow. I'm just going to have one more here on top of that. I'm just kind of moving the leaves around to get a placement. Okay? And when I cut them out, I really didn't, I'm a perfectionist, and fussy cutting is like the worst thing for me because everything has to be perfect. And this does not have to be perfect at all. It's very whimsical, it's very playful, so don't feel like you have to be perfect with this fussy cutting the leaves because they are really super intricate. Okay, so next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start layering on the top of my daughter. Got a leaf here that I want to lay down. I'm just going to, it's right next to her arm. It's going to overlap these flowers that I'm laying down next. So I'm going to lay a leaf down. So if you're just coming on, we are doing lots of layering to get a nice dimensional garden effect on this clock, this altered metal clock. So I'm just shimmying that around. All right, now I'm going to lay down this last flower, and I'm going to use glue. Now, I mean, the adhesive and the glue actually stood the test of time. I used my kids as a litmus test, and I'm like, well, if they can shimmy things around, then I don't have enough glue on. So, and they've been kind of looking at it, and they haven't really damaged it yet. All right. And your flowers can be any color, really. I mean, you can go with a beautiful orangey and yellow for sunflowers and go crazy. All right, so our garden is coming along nicely. We are flowers from the same garden. Love that sentiment in the back. I think that is honestly my favorite part about this. It just goes so perfectly. Okay, so I'm kind of using my other clock as a cheat sheet, and I'm trying to figure out here. Okay, next I'm going to be using, if I can find it, okay, this little flower piece, the flower cutout, and I'm just going to actually fold down here at the bottom, kind of like this. You know, paper dolls used to set up like that. I'm going to fold it because I'm going to lay it actually down at the bottom behind here a little bit. And I'm going to start working up from the bottom, and I'm going to get a lot of dimension going on there. I'm just going to roll it here. Make it easy for me. Use as much adhesive and foam as you need, because you really want to keep these items in place. And you want them to stay put as long as you want them to. Okay? There we go. Ta-da! So now you have the nice floral effect. Got some whimsical flowers, like they're in a little field. Isn't this so easy? Really, it just takes a little bit of patience and you're on your way. All right. Next, I'm going to be adding these adorable leaves, the wood icons. They are brown. I love that the Prima came out with actually printed images, and they're coloring them now. I think that's so fun. The old ones were awesome too, but sometimes I was like, oh, you know, I'll just leave them raw, because sometimes I was lazy. Okay, so now I'm just starting to lay these little leaves in. All right. And adding my second leaf. Does anybody have any questions? Just trying to follow the chat here. Yes, lots and lots of foam squares. That is correct. You know, they raised the price of the foam, and I went into Target to get more, and I was like, oh, it's like a $2 more now than it used to be. And I was like, oh, I'll just go back to the hardware. It's cheaper there anyways than in the craft section. And lo and behold, they had raised the price there too, and there was less foam. And I was like, oh, felt so gypped. Okay, so there we go. Getting that beautiful brown leaf, and it's actually making all the other elements pop. Get a nice, and it's gonna really go nicely with the brown tones that are on the clock. I love this clock, it's so gorgeous. Obviously, I have 2 here, and this will be my 3rd, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna actually give this one to my mom. So, okay, now we got the leaves down, and finally, I am going to, okay, I'm going to move on to this wire, the sprout wire. And again, Prima came out with a ton of choices. You have so many different colors. I have a brown, I have a light blue, a pink, a red, and an off-white here. And I know that they came out with a ton of colors last collection, last release as well. But these are just gorgeous. I don't know if you can see them very well. So all I'm going to be doing with these is I'm going to cut it in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just wrap it around any type of pen or paintbrush, because they're really going to bounce around. And that's like the fun, whimsical part of this. They're just going to bounce and be springy. So I don't want to cut too much off because I might have to adjust it here a little bit. So I'm going to take my butterfly. All right, find that in a minute. Okay, I'm going to take my butterfly and I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here on the back. And that's how actually I'm going to attach this. I'm going to put some on the back. Adhere I'm actually going to wrap it almost, so you get a little bit of surface. I'm going to lay it directly into the glue, and kind of as a second measure, I'm just going to lay down the foam adhesive, just like this. That's what the back of my butterflies look like. And you can't tell from here, but they do bounce. Isn't that so cute? So we're going to make them bounce. So I'm going to do that. And why do I keep losing things on my desk? I need to find my other butterfly here. And things have been falling all over the place. Is it underneath? Okay. Alright, I'm trying to find this butterfly. Alright. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this. I did find it. Alright. And I'm going to take this and do the same thing. You can do as many butterflies as you want. Alright. I think that was at least a foot long, if not a little bit more, just to give you some inch room, some wiggle room. Alright. Doing the same thing with that. Laying it down. And you want the wire to be like directly in the middle, come out the bottom. And let me get my adhesive here. Yes, the wood is gorgeous, isn't it? And I was actually admiring the Cigar Box Secrets wood icons as well just recently. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. They're very much like a fall. They'd be perfect for fall. Okay, so now I have my 2 little butterflies. They're like bobbleheads. Isn't that cute? All right. Look how easy that was. All right. Now, they are a little bit more tricky to get in because they really don't have anything stable at the bottom. So I'm just going to find like a little makeshift way to do this. And it's going to be like this. I'm going to add a foam square, and I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm going to twist it a little. Can you see how I kind of twisted it and attached it to the foam? It's going to keep it in place. And I'm going to add just a small layer on top of it. Keep it in place. And then I'm going to stick them in. And you're not going to see all these because the mushroom is actually going to hide everything. Tons of adhesive. Tons and tons and tons. See, I'm just folding. All right. All right. I mean, you could use this for Christmas, like someone said. That's a great idea. Yes, Carrie, great idea. Just trying to follow the chat here. I've been so into Christmas, I'm like biting at the bit, chomping at the bit. Can't wait. All right, so I'm sticking this in down here. Let me get it in here. I'm actually gonna lay that underneath the other foam square. That's gonna give it a nice base to put the mushroom. And you can see, I'll try to show you. See down in there? There's a huge ton of adhesive. And it's just basically a nice cushion. And it's laying on the flower too, which is going to help. So some of the flower is going to pop out and some of it's going to just be used as a springboard, no pun intended, for these elements here. All right, last but not least, we're almost done with the background. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm trying to find something to prop it up so you can, there. All right. So with these Shabby Chic treasures, you get 3. And I don't know the number of this, but I threw this in at the end and I forgot to add this to the class list. It is an Ingelbaum chalk edger. It's metallic and it is in lead. And basically all I'm doing is I'm just adding a nice thin layer to it. Now these are super, super shabby. I'm just making it a little darker. Not too much. And this is not necessary at all. Unless you want it. Again, I'm perfection. I need perfection at all times. So, especially in my crafting. So, well, mostly in my crafting. Right? So it's just a little more darker than it originally came in the box. And to top it off, I'm just going to take it and add a little bit of glue to the bottom. And I'm going to add a little bit of foam to the back and a nice thin strip at the very bottom. Like this. Ugh. This Fabri-Tac glue is like hardcore. It's everywhere. And that's just going to stick to the leaf here. And I'm going to put it directly on the foam adhesive. Okay. And you can get it as close to the front as you want. I think the one that I made was a little bit closer to this front part, but it doesn't matter to me. You get the idea. I'm not going to fiddle around with it here tonight. Of course, when I go off air, I probably will. Aren't they cute? All right, so to finish this up, yeah, you got to get those resins. I want to hoard these. I hoard these resins, and sometimes I don't use them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so cute. I don't want to use it. Isn't that terrible? All right, but hey, hoarding came in handy because I kept it for just the correct project. See? It was a match made in heaven. All right, lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to mist the clock itself. And to do that, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm going to set everything aside. It's going to get wet and wild here. All right, got a nice thin layer of paper towels down. And I'm going to get my baby wipes here. I have a ton of baby wipes here at home. And they come in handy because they're wet, but they do soak up so nicely. All right, we're going to start with the Lime Wedge, and we're going to go in and spray the top here and the bottom. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tuck it in here. And I mean, obviously you can do it at the beginning. I just like to do it at the end for some reason. Oh, whoops. She's Lime Wedge first. Okay, Lime Wedge. Nothing's been damaged. And I'm just going to let it drip down the side. And you can even like shimmy it down. Kind of help it go down the front if you'd like. See how wet it is? It's going down the bottom. And when it dries, it's going to just come out super beautiful. It has a gold tone to it. And it's really going to go nice. It's going to look very patina if you like that effect, which I do. So I find it incredibly gorgeous. Just adds a little bit to the frame. You can do anything with these frames. You can gesso them and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Maybe even a little bit of stenciling on the side, stamping, who knows. Okay, so enough yapping. Let's get this up here. I'm just tucking them in. Let's get these down here. All right. You can even get the top a little bit. This beautiful little handle. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, love it. It's dripping, drip, drip, drip. Love how it's dripping down. Kind of help it a little bit. All right, so I think that's enough green here for now. Okay, so nothing's been where it shouldn't. Let me put my cap back on this glue here. It bubbles out, which drives me absolutely batty. All right. All right, so again, if you prefer, you can do your misting at the beginning. I'm just doing mine at the end because actually that's what I did when I originally did this. I kept it, I didn't do any misting, and then I was like, you know what, I want to jazz it up just a little bit. And then I went on and kind of wanted a patina effect. I thought that these two colors would go perfectly for that. And they match the butterflies so well. And the green goes great because it's Forever Green collection. Again, with the matchy-matchy. All right. So now I'm just adding another layer here. I'm going to go in with my Glistening Waves, my favorite. Okay. Maybe even you can do a little bit of crackle to the outside once it's dry. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? And I did let this air dry to just give it a time for it to do its thing on its own. And that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it out. And then you just dry it up, and that's it. Does anybody have any questions? No. Yes, I do have a heat gun. I just wanted to save time. But it is something I do like it letting it air dry rather than blow drying it with the heat gun. Just kind of blows everything all over the place. Sometimes it's just nicer watching it air dry and just letting it do its thing. I'm going to add a little bit more here. You can add lots of layers. Okay? And that's that. Anybody have any more questions? And again, don't forget about the birdhouse. I think maybe I was calling it bird cage. We got like lots of options here with these metal frames. And don't forget, I mean, you got so many different themes that you can do with these. The options are really, really, really endless. And I did finish a little bit early today. It is okay. Give you girls a chance to chat. Thank you. Thanks so much. Let me turn this light away so I'm not so glaring. Prima did come out with crackle paste. There are 4 different, well, I think that there's several different kinds. I know that there's a clear, and yes, Carrie, yes, she's saying clear, gold, silver, and copper. So you can add a crackle paste at the end, just really add a little more vintage effect to it. Yes. Yes. Very fun. Thank you. Thank you so much, girls. Thank you. I finished up a little early tonight, and so if you have any other questions, you can contact me or contact Carrie, and you'll see the full product list on Facebook. I posted it to my wall. There you go. Here. There you can see it dried up. See, it just looks really old. You can see the nice layers to the colors. Isn't that pretty? And it goes so well against the tone of the clock. Just really vintage. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. All right. So don't forget about my next class. Yes. I really want to see all you girls that showed up last week or the week before come to this. I'm going to be doing lots of misting, as you can see. I'm doing some old favorites. And lots of the beautiful blooms. So get ready. Get ready. All right? All right. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me tonight. All right? Have a good night.